You may have noticed us publishing a lot about the Iranian peace negotiations, where they are and what's happening, and that's because we always want you to be informed and up to date. We work late into the night, on the weekends, on holidays, on our birthdays. Doesn't matter. We always want you to have all the information that is publicly available and some information that is not publicly available. And so we do our best to show you the data and you can decide. And I got to tell you, there's been a lot of stopping and starting with this negotiation process, a lot of halting and then lurching forward. So the tick-tock has been tough to cover. And that is why we rely on the best data that we can, which are market predictors, as you can see right here live on your screen at time of recording, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Oil is collapsing. Oil is crashing once again. It was up for a little blip, and now it is skyrocketed downward. This is a trend that has been happening over the last 5 days. You can see up here it was $105 a barrel, and now it is down to timber 88. A reminder that at $65 a barrel, that's the benchmark for $2 gasoline. So it's actually about $20 away from the benchmark that you want to hit during the midterms. And why is this happening exactly? And why is it happening in concert with a skyrocketing S&P 500 at all-time highs? Look at that. Whoa. I mean, goodness. The stock market is exploding forward because we are seeing an explosion of traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. You can see, for instance, I've selected this vessel right here, which just traveled through the Strait of Hormuz. This is one of those just gigantic oil tankers. It's this class. And you can see here that these are the style of ships that are now heading through the strait. Something like hundreds of millions of barrels of oil has been transiting the Strait of Hormuz. They don't want you to know this, but it's true. Iran has said that 26 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz in the last 24 hours. The average size of those vessels are the kind of boat that can carry 2 to 3 million gallons of oil. And so what you can see here is that things are beginning to slowly normalize. And that's going to be very, very good. And that's happening for a big reason. We're going to discuss that breaking news right now. But once again, check this out. You can see boats literally here. You can see boats here. You never saw any boats here. There was nothing that ever existed here. And you're seeing boats here, right? Look at this. Something's happening. And we want you to, we will show you the data. We'll show you the information. We'll show you what's going on as stocks rise on report that negotiators have reached a deal to extend Iran ceasefire. Traders are ready. U.S. and Iran reach deal, but need Trump's final approval, officials say. Okay, here we go. Iran and the United States negotiators have reached a final agreement, a 60-day memorandum of understanding to extend the ceasefire and launch negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. President Trump has yet to give final approval. Now, the nuclear program thing is interesting because, as we have covered, Iran has said now publicly stated multiple times that they don't want a nuclear weapon and that they'd be happy to give up their enriched uranium. Well, all right. That seems to be a massively important concession for the president. Let's read further. Why it matters. The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding would be the most significant diplomatic breakthrough since the war started. The final agreement tackles Trump's nuclear demands would require further negotiations. This agreement is to get everybody to the table. We will work out the details of the negotiations, the U.S. official said. The U.S. official claimed that the Iranians came back and said that they had the necessary approvals to sign the negotiation. U.S. officials and terms of the deal were mostly agreed to as of Tuesday. The U.S. negotiators briefed Trump on the details of the final deal. He did not immediately sign off. The president relayed to the mediators that he wanted a couple days to think about it. Now, of course, Trump's mediators are Steve Witkoff, who's negotiated peace deals around the world, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, critically important because part of this negotiation is freeing funds that are held, billions and billions of dollars worth of funds that are held in Qatar right now. and also his son, Jared Kushner. So, I mean, it's like, well, if they're coming back to Trump with a deal, I would expect that deal would be something that's agreeable. We'll see. Trump and his advisors thought they were close to a deal several times, but they got stalled. The U.S. officials say the 60-day memorandum of understanding will state that shipping through the Strait of Hormuz will be unrestricted. A U.S. official said that this means no tolls, no harassment, and Iran will have to remove all mines from the strait. Okay. Seems like a pretty logical, like, okay, we have a peace agreement now, but everything's rigged to blow. And like, get rid of your minds, dumbasses. U.S. naval blockade will be lifted. Okay, good. Bring them home, please. I'm begging you. And will happen in proportion with the restoration of commercial shipping. It'll include Iranian commitment to not pursue nuclear weapons, the official said. They've already said this publicly. Okay. And they'll figure out how to dispose of Iran's enriched uranium. Cool. That's a win, huge win for Trump. The U.S. will commit to discussions about relief, frozen Iranian funds as part of negotiations. It'll include discussions on a mechanism to help Iran start receiving goods and humanitarian aid, showing that they are really, truly breaking. The negotiations are being finalized. U.S. and Iran had 2 skirmishes. I think that's, frankly, the deep state that is trying to scuttle this deal, or globalists that want Trump to stay at permanent war. Not good. We shouldn't want that. We should warn against it. We don't want it. We want this. We want a good, sustainable, lasting peace deal. Very good terms. Unrestricted shipping, no tolls. Iran commits to no nuclear weapons. 2-month window to figure out the enriched uranium question. Should be easy. U.S. will discuss sanctions relief and the aid to rebuild. Well, there you go. 47. Confirm it. Very good. This looks like a huge win for President Trump. The U.S. is hearing from a senior administration official reports that this is true and appears to be getting everything that we want. Really, really well done. Everybody reporting it now. PMS, NBC, and Fox News. U.S. and Iran have agreed to a 60-day memorandum and launched larger negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. Sources telling us that it's not awaiting Trump's final approval. The signing of the agreement would be the most significant breakthrough since the war started. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. U.S. and Iran reach a peace deal. Send it. Deal includes Iran's commitment to not pursue nuclear weapons. Yep. We're going in. We're going in. There you go. Ceasefire. U.S. Navy out of there. Okay, cool. There's a community note that says they're waiting for Trump to finalize it. Okay, that's fine. Axios reports that the agreement is not yet official, but insane pump. U.S. stock market in the last 20 minutes is rip-roaring. There's an agreement. Brent falls. Trump says it needs his final approval, needs a few more days. Been pretty clear that there's not going to be a tolling system. This is the Treasury Secretary banging his fist on the table and saying that won't happen. Tehran's days of terrorizing the region and the world are over. If they are able to secure, and you can see here the oil prices, obviously they went up very, very sharply at the beginning of the onset of this war, and now they are coming way back down to earth here. If there is a lasting peace, here we go. LNG tankers exit Hormuz heading to Pakistan and China. If there is a lasting peace here, that President Trump is able to make sure that this region of the world is not weaponized and that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and that our partners in the region are more strongly allied with America than ever, because we're the only people that stood up to defend them, not Europe, not China. It was us. And Iran has sort of been proven to be the player that it is in the region, which is a terrorist nation. And Donald Trump is able to secure that peace through a binding resolution through the United Nations for the world to see. It will be seen as a huge win. It will be seen as a massive victory. And I personally believe that gas prices, which are atrocious right now, will come crashing back down to earth, that there will be a mad rush to that region in order to establish stronger and better resources. And that you might have, like, it's been messy, a lot messier, but you might have a Venezuela situation where things really normalize for the better. That's me praying and hoping. And so that's what we're going to do on this channel. We're not going to doom. We're not going to freak out. We're not going to spaz out. And we're going to give you all of the information, show it to you, and you can be the judge. But I'm praying for peace. It's your boy, Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.